If you have a continental grip and an amazing trophy position, will you automatically pronate? We're going to cover that in today's lesson. I'm excited to give you a 7-step formula to help you pronate better on your serve. My name is Jeff Salzenstein. I'm the founder of Tennis Evolution, one of the leading online tennis instruction websites in the world, and I'm committed to helping you and others improve their serves. And we get a lot of questions about pronation over here at Tennis Evolution, and figured I would do a video today to give you a 7-step formula. And the specific question that came to me was around the grip and the trophy position. If you have those two aspects of the serve dialed in, does pronation happen naturally? And I'm going to say no. And I'm going to explain exactly why right now. Let's first get into the grip. It is a true statement that if you have a continental grip, then you can pronate. If you have a forehand grip like this, you will not be able to pronate on the serve. Now, we need to talk about pronation in that it's really what we're talking about is really a rotation of the shoulder. Okay, that's another term for pronation. We want to get that shoulder to rotate in this fashion to create that pronation effect. So we do have to have a continental grip. The subscriber who asked the question is absolutely correct. If you have a forehand grip, you have no chance. Now, if you have a solid trophy position, that's going to help as well. But what comes before the trophy position in order to make sure that you can pronate and rotate your shoulder appropriately? You've got to have a proper stance. So I'm assuming if someone says, hey, I've got a great trophy position, they have a solid stance. Because if your foot is lined up in this fashion like this, directly, your back foot, directly behind the front foot, it's going to be harder to get that turn. And when you make contact, your body might be facing the net more like this. And if you're facing the net like this, it's going to be difficult to pronate or to rotate that shoulder. So it's very important that you have a correct stance, a stance where this foot slides back in this direction, because this will allow you to turn and get into that wonderful trophy position. If you have a pinpoint stance, and if you bring the foot up to the side like this, it's going to be harder to pronate. I'm not saying you can't do it, but what I'm saying is that the more that you bring this foot up to the side, the more you'll be facing the net at contact, and again, that can make it more difficult to pronate. Let's get into step number 3, which is the trophy position. That initial question around the grip and the trophy position. It is true. If you have a great trophy position, if you can get your elbow in the correct position, I'm going to turn around like this. If you can get your elbow into this position right here, at some place at the trophy, you have a better chance of being able to pronate. It's not going to guarantee it, but it gives you a better chance. Now, just because you have a continental grip, you have the right stance, and you have a solid trophy position, it doesn't mean you're going to pronate, and I want to explain why. What about your ball position? I see this over and over again with players that when they serve, their toss is too far to the side. So if they're out to the side, it's going to be more difficult to pronate. More of a slice serve toss. So it is going to help to get the toss location at least above your dominant shoulder like this. Maybe even towards your head to help you learn this concept. The more that your arm moves out to the side and makes contact out here, the more difficult it is for you to pronate. So ball position and ball toss matters. Instead of tossing it out here, you can't really pronate from that position. You're going to have to practice getting that ball toss up above the head more, or above the shoulder at least. Okay, so ball position is very important. What about the finish? I see a lot of players swinging and they come across and around like this, and they don't really pronate. So what I advise players to do is actually finish on the same side of the body to work on this pronation. And you'll see how I finished on the same side here. This can teach me how to pronate. Now that doesn't mean you're always going to do this. Excuse me. Doesn't mean you're always going to do this, but it's having an understanding that if you finish like this, you have a better chance at pronating. If you toss it out to the side more and come across your body, you won't be pronating. So the ball position and the finish are two characteristics you have to be aware of. It's not good enough just to have the grip and the trophy position down. Now the next thing I want to talk about, and this is very important, and it's overlooked, it's overrated, it's body position. So I see this a lot when players serve, when they make contact, their shoulders are facing the net like this. And we talked about this. If you don't have a great trophy position, if your back foot is here or here, if you are facing the net at contact, it's going to be very difficult to pronate. If your toss is over here, difficult to pronate. Body position. The ideal body position would be at contact. You would be at more of a 45-degree angle. So you'd have your chest facing more towards the net post. Instead of facing the net like this, you're going to be more diagonal at contact. See this position? And on top of that, you're going to have more of what's called a side bend. So you need to be able to, at contact, feel a side bend right here, almost like you're crunching down your obliques like this. If you're hitting serves like this, very difficult to pronate. I feel restriction in the shoulder when I try to rotate. So you've got to have the body angled at a 45-degree angle more towards this net post over here, and you have to side bend more. This allows for pronation to happen. So if I exaggerate the side bend and the angle of my body, then I avoid opening up. Critical to your success and overrated. You have to practice body position to get this down. And you can't have the right body position if your setup isn't correct with your grip and your stance and your trophy position and of course your ball position. It's all going to work in steps. Now the final step that I want to talk about is tension, or in other words, relaxation. When you finish your swing, you can practice wiggling your fingers and that will help you pronate more. Watch this. If I grip really tight, look at my pronation. If I grip really tight. If I open my fingers, look what happens with the racket. It actually rotates or pronates more. Squeeze it tight, open it up. Squeeze it tight, open it up. So I like to have players, if they want to work on popping their serve, they're going to take the tension out at the end, wiggle their fingers so it looks like this. And if you come across your body, you can come across your body like this and wiggle. Notice how the strings that made contact are facing this way. This is the opposite of the dirty diaper, which in another video we talk about how to hit topspin. If you're pronating and rotating your shoulder, the strings that make contact are going to face away from you. If you're working on topspin, there's still an element of pronation at contact, but when you finish, the strings are going to face towards you. So watch the difference here with the tension and with the finish. When I finish and I open my fingers, see how the strings are facing away from me? If I hit topspin, see how the strings are facing towards me. That's a big distinction that you want to make depending on the type of serve that you're going to hit. So I gave you a 7-step formula to help you with pronation. It starts with the grip, then we move to the stance, then we go to the trophy position, then we go to the ball position or the toss, and then we go to the finish. Then we talk about body position, and finally we talk about tension of the hand or relaxation. If you can practice those 7 steps, pronation is going to be easy for you. And of course you've got to work on your range of motion with your shoulder, okay, so you can avoid injuries. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure that you give us a like, thumbs up, leave a comment or a question below. I'm here to help you with your serve. I'm here to help you with the rest of your game. We got a free gift that we want to give to you. It's a Tennis Evolution app. That's right, you have access to the Tennis Evolution app with a free membership, no credit card required, 21 lessons on the inside for you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you transform your serve and the rest of your game. Here's to more pronation and a better serve. We'll see you at the next lesson. Thanks for your time today. Go ahead and click the link below or somewhere in this video. Thanks.